Well, good morning. I want to share with you another devotion based upon my being stopped by a deputy just about a half mile away from the church where I serve. And this one is about getting ahead of God and the consequences that are involved. First, I want to read a scripture from Genesis chapter 16 and verse 12. And it says, "He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." That him that's being referred to is Ishmael. Well, about 11 years prior to this, God had told Abraham that he and Sarah were going to have descendants that would outnumber the grains of sand on the seashore. Now, they had been unable to conceive. And so, therefore, Abraham didn't know exactly how this was going to work out, but Abraham believed God. Well, 11 years had passed approximately, and still no son, no children. And so Sarah, his wife, came up with the idea that he should take her maidservant as a wife and have a child with her. And that's exactly what happened. Hagar conceived, and Hagar delivered a child. His name was to be called Ishmael. Now that verse, once again, he will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers. Well, that prophecy about that man's legacy still plays out today, as we can trace Ishmael back to the beginnings of the what we would call the Muslim faith today. In fact, Ishmael is like one of their key prophets, and we know that they are very hostile toward people, and we know that that we're fighting a global war against radical Islam even to this day. And why is that happening? Well, it's because Abraham rushed ahead of God. He got ahead of God's plan, and so therefore there were consequences, and consequences that we're still having to deal with today globally. You see, the reason that I cut through that bank lot is because I was running a little bit behind with my family to get to church. And so instead of waiting in that long line at the four-way stop, I decided I would cut through the bank lot and go over to the street that I needed to be on, avoiding the stoplight. That's why I was stopped. I rushed ahead. I paid the consequences. Now, once again, thankfully, the police officer extended grace. And if you did not see that video, you can go back a couple, 2 or 3 posts, and you'll be able to watch that one as well. But let me warn you, whenever we get ahead of God, there are consequences, because as our shepherd, we are to keep him out in front. We are to keep our eyes focused upon him. And if we get ahead of God, then we lose our focus. I hope this has helped you today. I hope you have a great Monday and a great week. Once again, if you enjoy these videos, please share them. And, if you have a YouTube account, subscribe, hit the little thumbs up on the video. And I hope that these minister to y'all. Have a great week. God bless.